November 21st of 1969, I was sworn in as a police trainee, and I thought, I'm going to be the best cop that I can be.
Congratulations.
Nearly 50 years later, it's this same attitude that's landed Benjamin Tucker here at One Police Plaza as the NYPD's second in command.
How do you tell parents that your kids are going to come home? They're going to be safe.
Safety in the schools is not just about, preventing violence.
Tucker, who under Mayor Bloomberg served as the executive for school safety and planning, doesn't believe arming teachers is the answer. And metal detectors, he says, can sometimes create more tension.
You create an environment where people know who the teachers are, who know who the principals are. Students feel safe if Mr. Jones says, hey, Johnny, how you doing? The little things matter.
And not just in the schools, he says. In the wake of high-profile fatal encounters like the cases of Eric Garner and Deborah Danner, Tucker says he's been trying to change the NYPD's culture.
This job is about people and compassion and empathy.
What was your impression of cops growing up in Bed-Stuy?
Well, they used to hassle us, so,
You didn't have a real positive view of cops at this point?
Not really. Not at least those cops.
Last month, the NYPD rolled out a new 8-hour course called Implicit Bias Training, designed to help all officers recognize their own tendencies.
We want to make them aware so that they will be conscious of it and not allow those biases, whatever they might be, to influence their judgment.
Tucker is very concerned about new federal legislation that will allow individuals licensed in other states to legally carry concealed weapons here.
That's insane.
And that's essentially what the law says.
Right.
You can get a gun elsewhere and bring it here.
Yeah.
And it's perfectly legal.
Perfectly legal. It makes no sense.
We're on track to have under 300 homicides this year.
Not one to cheer for himself, Tucker attributes the plunge in crime in the city to levels not seen since the 1950s to the 36,000 men and women in uniform. For this son of Brooklyn, being a cop is personal.
My family, we all lived in the same house on Putnam Avenue. And when I say we all, my grandparents, my mother's sister and her sons, my mother's other sister, that upbringing, is sort of a large part of who I am. And they cared about politics, they cared about education, and they cared about, treating people with respect. So I think, becoming a police officer was why, it made sense to me.
What would they say?
Well, they call me Little Benny, so, they'd probably be saying, look at Little Benny. All those folks, sitting up on the clouds, just, cheering.
Now, 4 of those family members preceded Tucker in the department, people who clearly meant the world to him. So I asked him, what do you want to be? Top cop, of course. But as a rare breed who's worked for Presidents Clinton and Obama on community policing and drug policy, respectively, he says he has no idea where his career will lead him next.